going to give a little bit of time towards this conversation because I like it.
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me? Yeah.
Hi, how are you? Is this Jake?
This is Jake.
Hi, how are you doing, Jake? My name's Kyle. Nice to meet
Hello.
you.
Hello. That's nice to meet you.
Are you currently streaming right now?
Yeah. You were just in my chat 1 second
Because
ago.
I think from what on my monitor you're a little Jake? This is Jake. Sorry, hang on 1 second. I think an ad. Nice to meet you.
I see. You just have to turn your volume
Hey,
off.
can you hear me?
Yeah. Hi. I can hear you.
Hello?
Hello? Can you not?
I'm sorry. I think something's wrong. Um I think Hey, give me a second, okay?
Yeah. Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Thank you. Ooh, wow, that was embarrassing. Huh?
It's okay.
Hey, so I saw on Twitter about questioning faith and Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get to elaborate my own beliefs because I have my own view
Mm-hmm.
of Christianity from my own experience in life. I'm only 18 years old, soon to be 19, so
Yeah.
um I was wondering from my own research I I don't believe that there will be an end time. Like there is no evidence of God, and this is coming from someone who is a Christian. Does that make sense? I'm sorry, I'm a little autistic on this. I have autism.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, there is no evidence of God. Yeah.
Right. And I believe it's my own belief. I think that there is something I don't know, and I don't know that. I have no answer.
So
I am not
why
right on
why do you
anything.
why do you think that though?
Why do I believe that there could be a
Yeah.
like a greater existence? I don't know that.
Yeah, but you don't know like
I don't.
why. Let me see if my. Hmm.
I'm kind of how do I
Fuck.
put this?
I gotta leave and come back. Fuck. Boop. I'm back. Sorry. If I
Okay.
I was I was trying to use my camera, but apparently if I turn my camera on, my mic stops working. I don't know. I think it was my fault.
It could be. I don't know what's going
Yeah,
on,
it
man.
was my end. I don't know why. We'll figure it out later. I'll just keep my camera off for
So
you. That's okay.
from what I've gathered, I even if like I've accepted the fact that if there is no God, right,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just darkness when I die, like lights out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I ate a McDonald's burger that had E. coli and I die,
You'd probably shit to
right?
death, but yeah.
Right, like and it's lights out. You know, I'm fine with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's a matter of what I feel best about determines what I believe, though, right? It doesn't matter about my facts. Don't care about my feelings. You know what I mean?
Right, right. Yeesh.
Like, so it's like, it's like just true. Like pre-birth. What are your memories, right? And that's kind of what you would
Right,
experience.
right. Like
Yeah.
I remember when we're little, like we can say like, oh yeah, I remember. Like in my own experience, this is a funny story. My own experience. I used to tell my parents, I'm the reincarnation of Jack Sparrow, right?
Oh.
Like, and I had no evidence for that, but I believed that I was. And this was when I was like 7.
Yeah. 7-year-olds are fun.
Yeah, they are fun.
Little
Uh,
weirdos. You have little fantasies and you play and stuff. It's fun. Yeah.
right, right. Now, now when it comes to my dad being a Zionist, and I feel bad labeling him one
Well,
because
yeah.
I don't think he knows what that means. But
Right.
he's a
Is
Zionist.
he full on like the end time stuff then? Is that what it is?
Yes, he believes that
Mhm.
Trump is a sign of Armageddon. But he
Wait, is he
supports Trump.
he oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
Does he
it's
support Trump
weird.
to bring this about?
He just believes that he says like, oh yeah, there's this guy on YouTube who said that there will be a trumpet and he'll be a two-term president. And I was like, man, that's weird. And now that Trump has won, I think that the end times are coming. And it's like, okay, well, fuck having grandkids then.
Well, I mean, the good news is that there's no evidence of the end times insofar as like the biblical stuff is concerned, but uh you know, there's a pernicious facet with religion and stuff, and it's where like guys will say like, I mean, I'm sure there's sects of Christianity once they come around on climate change is real, because it is, and the science has proven it. That they're going to say like, oh, the world burning in fire. It's actually this. It's this with the heat coming up.
I have a neighbor who says, when climate change, well, the sun's going to explode, and it says we all in fire. And he also said Lord of the Rings is satanic, so I don't know who to believe.
Well, the sun eventually will, like all things, run out of energy and expand into a red giant and consume. But like that's millions and millions of years from now. So we're not going to be around, obviously. If we are around, it'll be because we are a resilient species who got our shit together. But I mean, our biggest threat right now is genuinely people like your dad, evangelical right wingers who don't know fucking kind of anything that's going on, and are leading us down a path of like ignoring actual problems instead of like heading them off at the pass, because the rest of us can like really see it, right? Like I think like my whole thing is like, and I think it's pretty obvious that human beings have needs, and if those needs are met, we have a better society. And so I'm a leftist. That's it.
Yes, I was once, I'd say 6 years ago, I was like 12, 13. I'm 18 now. Right. So like I was what they would call a Ben Shapiro kid.
That's
right.
So your parents are likely not good influences on you in this political regard.
No. My parents are pretty good people. Don't worry about that.
Do they believe in? Well, he's a Zionist, and they believe in the end times. And does he watch Ben Shapiro or Fox News?
My mom's pretty. She doesn't really care. But I love my mom.
Wait, they're married still?
Yeah, they're married. Yeah.
So I'm sorry. He's on some end time shit, and your mom's like, "Oh well, honey, why are you talking about that at the dinner table? Like, what is going on there?"
Yeah, it's the way I'm putting it. It doesn't sound like we're great, but my dad's I believe he's a good man. He just doesn't truly understand all faces of evil. Does that make sense?
Oh yes, it makes a lot of sense. A lot of Republican voters are just like that, where although your dad, in my opinion, is kind of off the deep end with the end time stuff, like there's so many. We're seeing it now. There's a bunch of like Hispanic illegal immigrant Trump voters or like first generation, like their green card is up in the air and they just got the right to vote. And they're like, I don't know. I don't think he's going to deport me because I'm not a criminal. And he's like, but they're criminalizing being an immigrant. They don't understand it. And I see this happening. There's, lifelong Republican white guys, middle of the fucking, South, otherwise a totally nice person, believes in all the leftist things I could ever talk about, and then votes for Trump and thinks that he's not going to do the things he says. These are all so normal.
Yeah, and the thing that really disgusted me, right, is keep in mind this isn't my dad's entire character. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
Right. My dad is he's a hardworking guy. He could care less than make politics his life like me. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Right. But like when Benjamin Netanyahu, that fucking piece of shit, can I say that?
You can definitely say that Benjamin Netanyahu is a piece of shit on this stream, yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So when he came to the Capitol, right? Mm-hmm. And gave his speech like, oh, if you're gay for Gaza, then you're chickens for KFC or some, like, I almost try to find a brick in my room and throw it at the TV. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Also invoking fucking like ovens or whatever. Like, yikes, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fascists are fascists. It's a sad thing.
Right.
Chat really loves you, by the way. They really appreciate your conversation.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Let me try to find where, because I turn off chat on my monitor. Wow, hey chat, do you think I'm funny? Because I'm a good guy, I can do some stand up.
Okay. You can pull back though. They like you, they appreciate your vibe. You sound like you're on it seems like you're witnessing injustice and incorrectness, and you're like, that is annoying, and I would like to be right. I would just like to know what's true, right?
Right.
And so, I mean, genuinely, like, as an atheist, I think it's, if you follow the evidence, there is no God. And for me, I'm quite comforted by this fact, because the God that Christians especially just, and Muslims and pretty much all the Abrahamic religions, the God that they describe is like pernicious and bad and jealous and violent and not a God of love. And the best part of him, the Jesus story, is like, you know, progressive for the time and not good enough for now. And
I can understand that.
And is like there's just no evidence to support it. And if there was evidence to support it, I would still be against God, the character, as purported, because he's evil, and if God existed, it would be our ethical obligation to find him and kill him and usurp him from the throne. But
Right. I guess. Well, I guess, you know.
yeah. Well, I mean, look, this man. This, of course, you know, floods the world. I just watched a video where a guy was like, "Yeah, look, the flood, it happened." There's no evidence of the flood, but like, I don't know how you can side with like flooding the world. I don't know how you can side with like killing your children and torturing them. And I also don't know how you can think that the Jesus sacrifice is a sacrifice when it only happens for 72 hours and then he's fine forever.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Another thing I wanted to say is that, well, first, you should write God of War 6 with all this knowledge. And second, oh, man, you know, the thing about it is that my dad, I wish I could just show him. Like, I was on Twitter, now X, I don't care calling it Twitter, it's
Me
more
too.
cool, you know. I what was it? I see pictures of dead children.
Yeah.
You know, right? And
I don't know how it doesn't move them either. It's sad.
and these I'm gonna say these awful white women on Fox. I mean, like, like with their Botox and everything, and it's just like, it's like, oh, but Kyle, you gotta understand, unlike the Democrats on MSNBC, they're smiling. Yeah, they're smiling when a trans kid dies. They're not smiling because they're like, man, we're really having progressive policy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
I think you're on the right track. I appreciate that you are trying to figure out what's real, and that's good. But I have bad news.
Yeah, what's that?
The bad news is that while you will find good community, and we're happy to have you, Kyle can stay with us. But there's plenty of good places on the internet besides me. But like, you're gonna see a lot of this in life and realize how fucked up it actually is, and how if you get to the point of actually deconstructing the systems that humans put in place, because like, once you're an atheist, I think realizing that humans evolved and we're just apes on a rock in space, and we're just doing our best, right? And we put these systems in place, and we do not have to abide by them. How flimsy the idea of like money being real and important is, when we're using this token of trade to keep people from feeding their babies and having shelter, and keeping them locked in cages because of it, and having like no access to health care because of like a piece of paper they said was important that isn't, right? And so it's like we could collectively, and I think the point of society is to collectively work together to bring up our collective well-being, right? And just to like I think that's the point. And it's clearly not what Republicans think the point is. They think it is the point to be in charge of other people, and there's some people that are just going to not have. There are the people that will be able to have, and we're going to make sure that those are our people. And I think that's wrong.
I think what began my leftist arc, yeah, I'm going to call it that, was in 2020. I had a germophobia problem because of COVID.
Yeah.
And I was sent to an outpatient program, and I met these girls who went through very hard times. Like, they had to get through abortions. If they didn't get an abortion, they would die. Right? There were kids struggling with their gender identity. Something I don't fully understand, but I want there to be trans rights. I don't
Yeah.
see a problem in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's based as fuck. Yeah. I mean, I'm a cis het guy. I'm kind of a token here on the left because most people in my space are queer or some version. Um, but I think that makes me a fine ambassador for to discuss it with people who don't experience gender dysphoria or maybe do and don't really understand. But what I am told about it and what my experience is with my trans friends and family members and everything is that like the way you feel about yourself and how you feel most comfortable expressing yourself is the correct answer about who you are. And whatever, and that can change over time. It could, I mean, what we think of masculine or feminine is as socially constructed as capitalism is socially constructed as like the idea of like, a team or a nation state. Like it's just really lines on a map or like enough people agree to it. It's real. Gender is a construct. Now, there's certain things about us that it seems we like to associate with femininity, like our bodies and stuff, but like obviously we're moving away from that a little bit and it's becoming a little less useful socially to be like, oh yeah, if you have a vagina you're a woman, or if you have a penis you're a man. Like it's not, we're a little bit more nuanced and expressive than that, and I think more interesting. Like we're apes on a rock and we're just having a good time, and whatever way you have a good time is fine with me. Like as long as you are trying to pursue your happiness, I don't see a problem with it.
Right. My journey, but I was going to say my journey, when I learned about these experiences, I became a leftist.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand, and I started listening to the Republicans and conservative talking points again, and I said, you people hate each other. You people hate people. I can't be that. You can't say you're the like party of common sense and you do all this shit. You know what I mean?
I'm happy for you. I'm sure that wasn't very easy to listen to. To be like, sort of disillusioned by pretty much your community there. But yeah, I mean,
oh, don't worry. I didn't have an online presence. It was just me screaming at Ben Shapiro, like, how could he be a bad guy?
Yeah, I guess that's good. So it doesn't feel like you lose anything. I mean, people, you could see how they dig in too on it, and they just sort of get stuck in their ways of like, oh, I'm right wing now, and they don't really critically assess what they're talking about. And all it took for you is to just experience it a little bit and be like, oh, okay, yeah,
right.
The system has flaws and we need to help people. Conversely, by the way, this is why we leftists don't like liberals either. Like the Democrats are very like ineffective, and not only do they lose elections, but like they don't get anything done well enough when they do win because their pursuit is still capital and it's not helping people.
Yeah, around March of 2021, I went through, I was with my granddad, who's a leftist, I hope this conversation gets clipped on YouTube so I can show this to my granddad. I hope that's okay.
But it probably will be, yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, that'd be awesome. Hey, whoever does your fan account, do your job. I'm just kidding. You have fun. But what I was going to say is that by March 2021, I realized what I want to fight for. And this is going to sound out of nowhere, and it's a taboo subject, but I want to fight for victims of sex trafficking. I'm not a QAnon person, but I want to fight for victims of sex trafficking in America. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, whatever you're passionate about would be good. Go become a. The best ways you can do that are usually through advocacy groups, and like maybe being a lawyer or something. Anyone that can change the way things work. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of
my goal is to be a filmmaker.
Problem, but yeah.
My goal is to be a filmmaker. My hero, he's a video game designer. My hero is Hideo Kojima.
Wow.
Right? Like, I had such a deep connection with Death Stranding. Yes, that was my first Kojima game. Right? Have you ever played Death Stranding?
I have a little bit. I haven't beaten it yet. Yeah. Hey, you know what? This is lovely. I do have to get back to the thing that I was doing. I'd love to talk to you again on your journey in the future sometime down the road if you want to tune in again. But I am very glad that you have a lot of ambition. That's very good. The kids feel like they're okay. What I would suggest, and really I guess it would be lovely to see is if you talked to your peer group and friends and and communicated to them these values as well, because it's very
Right.
important that like we share that with each other.
Oh,
So
hey, can I say one more thing
one
about
more thing, go for it.
okay. When Trump got elected, I have this trans friend, and
Mhm.
I remember this is gonna sound so out of nowhere. I remember what Snake said at the end of Metal Gear Solid 2, right? And I believe that we should keep fighting in a monologue like that. And I just wrote to my friends that like, no matter, don't don't let bigots, homophobes, racists make you who you are. Keep fighting. Do not throw away who you are. And I hope the people that are in the chat that are listening to this don't throw away who you are, because the best things in life are free. And I love you, right?
Mhm.
Um, work. Everybody's a community, and don't be a Republican or Democrat or whatever. Be anti-bully. That's all.
You're a wholesome person. I appreciate
Oh, like, thank you.
your contribution. Thank you very much. You have a
All
great
right. Well,
night.
I hope I can another time, man.
Yeah.
What is that? Are you
If
okay with that?
Yeah,
I know.
earlier in the stream, if you pop in, I'll have more time because we were in the middle of bingo. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I'd
man.
be happy to.
I hope I'm sorry that I say, man.
No, you're
I
good.
gotta remember. Okay, because people were asking me for my pronouns,
Oh
and
yeah,
it's he, him. I'm like you said. You said you're heterosexual, right?
yeah. Mine are also he, him. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, like we said, we are ambassadors,
Hmm. Yeah.
right? Yeah. But hey, man, you take care.
Yeah. You too.
I hope y'all in chat take care. And I met David Hayter, and he said, do pretty good or something like that. I don't know, but
Okay.
you take care. All right.
All
I
right.
love y'all.
You too. Good night.
All right. Bye bye.
I like a bubbly young person with all their enthusiasm. Good energy. I appreciate that.